If a man hesitates in business or his revenue or income is capped or stagnant, it's rarely strategy, getting new softwares, different marketing, right? It's always some area in his private life is leaking into all areas of his life. Now, this can be you are fragmented in the sense of the decisions you make behind closed doors, or in this case, on a primal level, you're not sexually free. And so in this video, I'm going to show you guys exactly why you might be a high-performing man, a man working the corporate ladder or a business owner, but you still find yourself asking yourself, why don't I trust myself like I should? Why on the outside do people respect me? Why on the outside do people look up to me and admire me and tell me that I'm great and tell me that they're grateful for me? But I know the truth. And the truth is, I'm a fraction of the man that I need to be. Let's get right into it. So the first thing I want you guys to know, and the first thing that I want to make clear, is that this isn't about sexual performance. This isn't about, better sex tips or how to become better. This is more so about alignment between who you are, who you act to be, and who you really are behind closed doors. So there's a discrepancy between your persona in public, in your position at work, or how you're perceived in your company, and who you really are at nighttime when you think to yourself, fuck, why do I keep on second guessing my leadership and my judgment and the calls that I'm making? And the tricky thing is, every time you betray yourself in one part of your life intimately, right, or privately, you start to train internal hesitation. And what I mean by this is, hesitation is not something that just happens. It's something that we train ourselves to do as men. For the many years that I was struggling with my self-image, a lack of confidence, and a lack of congruency, even though I was in high positions in financial technology, even though, I had different businesses over the years, right? Over the years, and I was and am a very competent man, I had to take a deep look into my private life and understand that the reason why my income was capped, or the reason why I wasn't performing like I wanted to in business or in the corporate field, the reason why I felt like a fraud was because sexually I was not fully being myself. And what I mean by this is, as men, on a primal level, in private, if you are unable to express all of your deepest, darkest desires and kinks and be the pervert that we all are, and the pervert that your woman, that your wife, that your girlfriend literally craves you to be in that safe space of intimacy, if you're unable to trust yourself sexually, you're going to betray yourself publicly in business. This is why you're capped. The reason you feel this sense of hesitation is because you've manually overridden your level of belief and confidence throughout the years. And what I mean by this is, the most common place that us men override our judgment, the reason we get in our heads is because in private, we second guess ourselves. If you second guess yourself because of your dick size, if you second guess yourself because of, did you make your woman come? Is your woman losing interest? Are you doing the same positions all the time, right? Just thinking and playing these things in your mind over and over again, you better believe you're training your central nervous system to hesitate and to think and to be robotic. This is why your business is stalling. This is why you're stalling in your career, right? This is why you're constantly overthinking when you have to make decisions as a leader, even though you're already in a leadership position. You're a father, you're a husband, or whatever, right? This is why you keep second guessing yourself, because on a primal level, you don't even trust your own sexuality. You don't trust your own sexual nature as a man. If you regularly tolerate disconnect in private, your central nervous system will adopt that sensation and it'll translate into business. This is why you can have a 20K month, a 30, 40, 50, 100K month, and then you drop back down to baseline. This is why you make good money, but you keep on flip-flopping back and forth. This is why you've seen spurts of you being that leader, the man that you know that you can be, and then you go back down to baseline. This is what I dealt with for so many years, and it really fucked me up. And Like, I really started getting angry at myself because I'm like, yo, I know I'm competent. I do the work. I know I'm intelligent. I know I'm a fucking savage. I'm a dog. But why is it that though I have all these intangibles that most guys don't have, because by the way, this isn't the issue that most guys have. Most guys, they don't even have that drive to be consistent. You don't lack the consistency. You don't lack the intelligence. You probably tried many things before. Different coaches, read all the fucking books, right? To try to figure yourself out. You probably got therapy. I know I did, right? But to be honest, therapy doesn't really address the identity. It just makes room to talk about shit, but it's not integrating this identity. This is why you're fragmented as a man, right? Sexually, financially, leadership-wise, how you show up in all these different sectors. You see, you can pretend when you're at work. You can put on this societal mask, but the bedroom is the honesty checkpoint. The bedroom is where you as a man know if you're truly desired or you're not. The bedroom is where you truly lead or you don't, and you second guess and you hesitate, right? Or in your head, right? The bedroom is where you can pretty much figure out who you are as a man. It tells you everything because you're just there with somebody else in your honesty. And this is why I'm always talking to you guys about the other parts of life that people don't see. Because this shit affects how we act in public as men. I mean, like, to put it as simple as I possibly can, if you are lacking trust in yourself in private, in intimacy, how the fuck do you expect to be congruent and to be a leader consistently, to have a consistent identity of leadership in public when privately you're having marital issues sexually, right? Or you're sexually repressed and you're not truly being yourself. You're not truly fucking the living shit out of your woman. If you're not truly expressing all of that, I don't care how much money you've made already. I don't care what accolades you've hit. It's never going to be fulfilling because accolades are external. Who you are at your core as a man sexually is the fiber of your being. It's how you serve. It's how you show up. It's how you move. It's how you walk. It's your existence. And if it's anything other than this, you've got a fragmented identity as a man, which is why there's so many highs and lows. Most guys who are performing well in life, let's just say financially, they don't want to talk about this part of their lives because they feel like we should have this figured out. Like, bro, I'm a grown ass man. I've got things going on for myself. Like, how could I admit that I'm struggling in this department? Well, the thing is, if you don't confront this, it'll be confronted in your leadership, in business, because business demands that you make decisive, that you take decisive actions, that you take risk without apology, that you are assertive. If you can't be assertive in the most primal aspects of your life, it'll transpire into everything else. And when a man is lacking self-trust sexually, it'll show up as needing multiple opinions when you make a decision, overthinking, questioning yourself, your team and staff questioning you, your woman questioning you as if she doesn't trust your leadership because she can feel that there's an uncertainty in your core, and you can feel that uncertainty, right? Which is why when you really sit down with yourself and you think about it, you ask yourself, why am I not even fucking happy? Like, I'm objectively doing well for myself in life. It's because we got a deeper issue at hand. Like I said, this isn't a surface level issue. This isn't just about having better sex. The better sex comes from, it's a byproduct of you integrating your identity, integrating these different facets of yourself so that you are in control of your life. Not just financially, not just how you show up in work, right? Not even just how you show up in the bedroom, but your entirety as a man. And if I'm being honest, I would say that's one of the best things about being in business. That's one of the best things about being a leader, an entrepreneur in general, or just leading somebody, is that what you hide in private, leadership exposes in public. I love this shit. This is why you see so many higher level guys getting exposed all the time. It's because what they're doing in private is not conducive to who they're pretending to be in public, period. And so on a sexual level, if you're deviant in in that regard, as in doing some weird shit. I'm talking about outside of like you and your woman or whatever. That's typically gonna show up in your leadership or lack thereof. And once you start to piece all of these facets of yourself together in unison, you'll notice that the hesitation dwindles because you'll start to move with clarity because you're aligned. The only reason why you would be hesitating or you're stalling in life, in any sense of the word, whether that's in business, intimacy, any area of your life, is if there's fragmented parts due to a lack of internal work in your life. You can work on all these other things. You've got the fit body, you're making decent money, right? You're smart, capable. The thing about men who have status and who have some accolades is that we have an ego. But what you also need to understand is that the ego oftentimes can keep you in a lower state of consciousness. And to get to a higher state of consciousness, example given, integrating your identity, it's going to require you to observe your life from a different perspective and not be in your life. This is called self-regulation. And as a leader, it's one of the most prominent skills to have. Now, we can regulate ourselves when it comes to business because after all, business is not personal. But why do we have a hard time doing it when it comes to regulating the other areas of our lives? It's because the ego wants to protect you. It's because you feel that you should already be more competent. And I get it. After all, I struggled with this shit for many years. So I'm never talking, at you guys. I'm talking to you guys from a perspective of a man that gets it. A man that used to say, I can't afford to not have my shit together. Because every time that you lie to yourself, especially in these intimate areas that we're talking about today, in the very moment and area that you lie to yourself is the exact point where your authority starts to collapse. I'll say it again. In the very area that you start to lie to yourself, in this case sexually, in terms of your primal nature, is the very place that your authority starts to erode. It's the very place. So what I want for you guys to do is to stop trying to work on yourself on a surface level. I know you've read the books, whatever it is, Way of the Superior Man, Think and Grow Rich, right? Atomic Habits, right? All these books. This isn't personal development. What I like to call this is deep alignment, deeper self-mastery. This is a renaissance process. And this is exactly what I do in my mentorship, Modern Day Renaissance Man. If you are a high-performing guy, a leader, but you have a fragmented identity, I invite you to press that first link down below, book a call, apply to work with me on a one-on-one level. You're gonna get on a call directly with myself or somebody from my team. We're gonna assess you, have an honest conversation, and we're gonna decide if it's the proper fit for us to move together and to help you step into deeper self-mastery, step into deep fulfillment, alignment, and finally, start moving like the complete version of the man that you know you were always meant to be. Salute.